Seth Sanftner is here from Capstone Insurance, and we are going to get into insurance in a minute. But first, I just wanted to talk about AI. I think if you get 3 people in a room, they're going to have completely different perspectives with how it works. And you and I have talked about it a little bit. But my first question is, what do you use AI for the most?
The most is probably just the real everyday living, just for how do I do this?
Anything you would Google, right?
More than that, like
Yeah.
anything I don't know. Like the other day, my toilet wasn't working, and I was like, I don't know anything. I'm the least mansy man when it comes to fixing things. I don't fix anything ever, and so like the toilet was part of it, and I was like, I don't know what is going on. I just took the lid off, took a picture of it, and said, "What's wrong?" And it just gave me back.
my
This
God.
hose is supposed to go here. This looks bad, and like some of it was because like it was dirty, and like you just clean it off, and then it could tell what it was what and whatever. So literally I had to get a new gut piece, whatever, and put a hose in the right hole, whatever. They literally walked me through how to do it. Or like I think I said before, like I open the fridge, take a picture. What are we having for supper today? And it, well, you have these, and this ingredients. You can make this, and this thing, and whatever. Or yeah, like Google things. Or I use it for work. So like for our networking group, when I was first starting all of that, I just put in ChatGPT, give me a list of all the lenders, realtors, like whatever industry I was looking for, and say have their contact information, their email, their business that they work for, whatever I wanted, and shoot me a list of 10 of each, and like you give them, like I say, lenders, realtors, electricians, whatever, and then it just populates a list of name, who they work for, their email, their phone number, and that's how I reached out to a handful of people to get to come to the group. Decent amount of them have come to the group from that. So like, say work-wise, I use it for quite a bit of stuff, just asking general questions. And like I've gotten, at first it was every time I was like, all right, I was going to Google it, so now let's just ChatGPT it instead. But now after using it more and more, it's way more of than just like I say, like Google, it's always just a question of who's this, what's this, whatever, where now it's like working out or like running. I took up running for a little while, and I was like, all right, how do I get my 5K time to this? And like it right, like so I put in like a workout half hour every morning. I'm willing to do this. I do this. I weigh this. I gave it like a little bit of my background of working out. I never really ran, whatever, and like it spits out a Monday through Friday. If you're willing, do this on Saturdays. Do stretch on Sunday, whatever. But spits out a regimen like, and not just a go running, but like a intervals for about 400 meters 4 times, whatever, like in depth of what to do every single day and that sort of thing. And like realizing like I follow it for a little bit, and I was like, all right, whatever, I can do this. Like I know what I'm doing, and then like I go to do what I want to do, kind of my own training, and then realize like, no, that was 100% right. Like what I'm doing is just wasting time. Like I don't know why I don't just follow this all the time, because it's way smarter when it comes to certain things like that.
Man, yeah, that's a complex equation that it can figure out all that stuff and kind of tailor it to you. Because like you said, you're willing to, work out for X amount of time and do this or whatever. I just think back to like the math questions that we used to get, like if a car's traveling this, it's like, it's 10 times more complex than that. That's so cool.
Yeah, because you wouldn't be able to just Google that. Like I've tried to explain the difference to people of how it is different than Googling, and I guess that would be a good way, a good example of how you can't just Google that,
I used to, because I ran the personal training department in Oakdale, the LA Fitness in Oakdale for a while. So like I was a licensed personal trainer and everything for a while.
Yep.
And one of my cousins, he was talking to me the one day. He's like, I'm trying to get back into working out, but I only have these dumbbells and this and that. And he's like, what do you think I should do? And I was like, honestly, dude, like I could try to tell you something, but like just take what you told me, put it in ChatGPT, and it's gonna do 10 times better than I can for a program. So like say even where you just put in like, I only have 10-pound dumbbells, I have 30 minutes twice a week, whatever, like it's gonna critique something for you. Or like, you're gonna have to pay some trainer. It's gonna take a lot to get what that is gonna be able to give you from getting that from a person. Or like yeah, you could have me tell you, but what I'm telling you is just me. I think give this a shot.
Right.
Kind of thing where like this is, no, like, it's probably going to work what that is telling you. Like,
I was thinking about what I use it for most, and I think like product reviews, like anything that I'm thinking about purchasing.
Yeah.
I ask it first,
Or
you
like
know?
that, our dog chews up every cord ever, anywhere, always. And like, so we have one of them end tables that has, you can plug stuff into it and whatnot. So he chewed that cord. And well, it's just a little plug-in mount deal, and the cord comes out of it. It's just you screw it onto the end stand or whatever. And then one day I was just sitting there and I looked at it and I was like, oh, we should get a new one of those. And I just snap a quick picture of it and I was like, I need a new one of these. And it literally sends me to the Amazon link and like multiple links of it. And I send one to Caitlin. I'm like, here, order this for us. She's like, how'd you do that? I've been looking for that for like days. And I was like, it took me 35 seconds. I just took a picture and said, hey, we need one of these.
Yeah.
And like, so like just anything and everything. And literally like say like just pictures of whatever. And like says, thanks for the picture. And like it remembers everything too. That's one of the crazy parts where like, I'll not really forget, but like I'll just jump into a conversation about whatever. And I'll be like, well, since you're an insurance agent and you do this, you do that. And like it recalls all the old conversations we've had and to give the answer into whatever I had asked it. And like, I kind of remember, but then sometimes I forget, like Google or like, sometimes you have to like say, I'm this, I'm doing that, I want to do this with this. Like it was a big thing with like starting my networking group where like I didn't have to keep saying I'm an insurance agent, starting this networking group, doing this. Like it remembers all that stuff. So I just jump back on. All right, I want to find some of these to join to my group or whatever the case may be. It just remembers everything I've been telling it this whole time. To just, you're just jumping back into a conversation with that friend that whatever.
Yeah, I'll never forget when it started calling me Bethy, and I'm like, only like some family members and friends call me that, and it's just like, oh, Bethy. I'm like, okay, it really knows me. It's remembering everything, and yeah, that made me think. Next time I see a girl in a cute outfit, I can just snap the outfit.
Well,
Like,
that's
help
what
me
I
find
was
this.
wondering. Yeah, like where can I get this shirt? You know, it has like some funny saying on it or whatever. Like, that would actually be really cool. Yeah, and I mean, think about the time that you save. Like even Caitlin, I mean, she was searching for that thing for
that thing for days.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got to think about 35 seconds.
Yeah. Do you use it?
Honestly, no, but now I feel like I probably should. But
Yeah.
I don't know. When it comes to AI, I'm a little bit more bullheaded, and I kind of want to do the work in order to get there. And I really should take the
Well, I
little
can
bit of
see
time
that
saved.
perspective,
Yeah.
but like in stuff like that, like where you can save time to be more creative or spend more time with your family or whatever it is you want to do, because I mean that is the downside to it. Is it taking away our creativity? I just choose to think that it's not. That it's just enhancing my creativity.
Yeah,
but,
or even like giving you more time to be creative, kind of like what you were saying, or you know, you're not getting the decision making skills taken away from you because you've had to decide what to search and what to pick and this and that or whatever, where AI gave you 5 options and you can just go with that one and then move on with your life instead of yeah.
I think piece by piece too, because you have the point of like where like you have the people that are scared of everything and how everything's gonna take over. And like I listen to podcasts about it and like definitely am aware of the bad stuff and like what it could become and like everything like that. But I also like I'm the person that just thinks about it like a little bit bullheaded, where like I'm one person, like I don't feel like whatever I'm gonna do is gonna make or break whether this thing takes over the world or whatever the case may be. But like I say, I just take the advantages of what it can do to save time or like things like that. But like on the creativity side, like I've come to realize using it, like it can like hinder, like where you say you just type it in, it's doing everything for you, you're on to the next task, you're not putting your brain power into creating this image or this flyer or whatever, the email. But I've learned to kind of that pendulum where like it was all of a sudden like you couldn't tell the difference in things, and now it's kind of swinging back where people can tell when you throw a ChatGPT Facebook post up because it's filled with emojis, and like you're starting to get them things where now it's like people will see like an email. If you do a ChatGPT email, there's always an emoji on the title line or whatever, and like so people it like doesn't even get past your unreads because you can see that emoji and tell that it was just ChatGPT. So like using it, but yet putting your own self into it still, so it is your own stuff, and it is like it isn't one of those like, all right, yeah, this guy's just sending ChatGPT emails to 5,500 people. And like that was definitely a learning experience for me too, because just starting it, you do something, you're like, this is awesome. Like it creates it, and like I could never have thought of this, and like this is definitely gonna work, and like that. And then you keep doing it for a little bit, and then you start to realize like there are people aren't returning your emails, or you talk to some people, and like that's kind of where talking in different networking groups and stuff, and realizing like, all right, yeah, like people are already getting fed up with the whole ChatGPT thing, and now we're starting to realize like before it spit out kind of a lengthy email kind of explaining this and explaining that, and you realize like no matter what is in that email, like people aren't reading that whole thing. Like you read the first couple of lines, so now kind of generating our own couple of line thing, and now you're getting much more response to that, and like it's kind of the pendulum's almost swinging to where like
people want
you're
more
not
personable.
ChatGPT, like you have a couple of spelling errors in your email, like just so they can tell it isn't ChatGPT, and like all right, I'll respond to this guy now, kind of thing. So like it's picking and choosing where you use it is definitely crucial too, I think, to the losing your creativity. And
or even just using it for inspiration.
Yes.
Like for your email. It's like, give me the email, and then I'm going to put that into my own words.
Kind of like getting bullet points from it. You get the bullet point, and then you expand from there.
Yeah, definitely.
Give me a
I didn't
couple
think
of big
about
words
it
that
that
I
way.
don't know.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's awesome. Yeah. So onto insurance, like what is one of the most surprising or weird things you've ever had someone like ask to insure?
Probably, so I've only been in it for about 7 months, 8 months now, so not super long.
Yeah.
So the most part it's your general home, auto, some commercial stuff, but I had a dude with an amphib car, a 1973 amphib car. It's a car that you can just drive right into the water. It's just a boat and a car. And it's a little convertible, like it just looks like a little, kind of like a Beetle, but it's a little more boxy. Like it's 1973, and like that's how they were made. Like it's
That's
73, you could
crazy.
drive it right into the water.
Yeah.
And I ended up not covering it, not getting him the policy, but like I got a policy that was offered for it, and that's like it took me some digging, and like they had a specific Haggerty, this one kind of carrier that does specific classic cars and that kind of thing, and they have a specific amphib car policy where like you pretty much have a car policy and a boat policy. You have to have two policies on that one vehicle type of thing.
Yeah.
So like that's probably the weirdest that I've came across.
Yeah, do they still make those? Or
No. It was a weird like foreign, I don't even remember.
I wish they
what the
did. That would
model
be
was.
cool. Why
Maybe
aren't they
do,
making
I guess,
them?
but I didn't. In my research, I didn't find one, but I
Exactly.
wasn't researching for new ones either, I guess.
Yeah.
So maybe. I just had a call the other day from a pet crematory, whatever you call those things.
Crematorium.
Crematorium.
Yep,
There we go.
yep.
So I'm working on getting one of those insured.
Like
That's interesting.
Their business, so like their
the whole business.
insurance.
Okay.
Yep, the commercial
Wow.
insurance. So,
Yeah.
Starting to
That's
dabble into
cool.
that stuff, so that's pretty fun.
Is there anything that isn't really insurable that you wish you could insure?
Not really. Pretty much anything is insurable. Like I don't deal with hand insurance or like that kind of thing. But like I know it's out there, and like I said, like there's pretty much anything is insurable for the most part. It's
Cool.
It's weird. It's one of those where like I just kind of fell into the industry. I didn't when I first started studying to take my test to get licensed. Like I signed up for property and casualty is the name of it, and like so that's just your home, your auto, your normal thing, normal lines of coverage. And I was signing up for the classes. I'm like, oh, property and life. Like I thought casualty meant life insurance. Like yeah, it doesn't at all. It's not. It's your regular property insurance. So I was like, all right, like let's see what we're getting into here. And I just ended up liking it. Where like I worked for a tree company for 15 years, took an arborist test 2, maybe 3 times, and it was just didn't care about it. Like I enjoyed cutting down trees. I didn't care about what it took to grow this tree or what this soil needs to do for this or why that one leaf is brown. Like I didn't care. I enjoyed cutting down a tree, hanging out with my buddies, like that sort of thing. And like so for that test it was just me. It was like high school, in one of them classes you don't care about. Like you're not learning it, you're just trying to remember what this says to pass this test. And like so I just couldn't do it. And then so it was like insurance, like I said, like when I signed up for the classes, is the same time I scheduled my test. Because it just said to sign up for this, schedule your test 2-3 weeks out, whatever. So I was like, all right, cool. Did that, and like I started studying, and I was like, uh-oh, like I gotta get this all done in 2 or 3 weeks. And like just starting to read it and get into it, and like realizing like, all right, I'm not just trying to remember this, like I'm actually caring, and I'm learning and enjoying learning it,
Yeah.
and like wanting to continue to learn and read and figure this stuff out. Like I don't really know what it was, whether it was you feel like an adult because you understand insurance. I have no idea why, but it just clicked, and like I said, I really enjoyed it. And I say it's not one of them topics they'd be like, oh yeah, it's fun selling insurance, but like to a point, it is fun. Just
Yeah.
like because I did tree work for 15 years before this, but I had ventured out, left. I went and worked at a gym for 6 months selling personal training. Way back in the day, I sold Kirby vacuums. Like I always liked sales, but I needed whatever I was selling to. Like I needed to be behind it. I needed
You
to
have to be
enjoy
passionate
and I
about it.
believe in
Yeah.
Where like this gym, it worked great because I was first. Like I used to be 260 pounds, lost weight, got into fitness, and like so that's what got me into the whole gym thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, yeah, this is cool. Like fitness, helping people, like great. And like I really liked it right away. And I got more knowledgeable. Like it was one of them things where like I got a certified personal trainer before I got the job, and like when I started doing that, I kind of just in my mind's like, all right, once you're a personal trainer, you're gonna just know how to train people. You know, I'll put programs together, and like getting all through it, getting my certificate, and reading like. I got no fucking clue how to put a program. Like, what did I learn? Like, I learned the mitochondria and the nuclei, and like you learn the whatever,
The
your
physics
cells
or
and
the
your proteins and like,
physiology.
but it's still your mind and your reasoning and logic of why you're gonna put this exercise in front of that exercise. And like I didn't have that real time life experience or
AI.
super depth knowledge.
Back then.
Yeah, exactly. To know why or how to put a program together and like that sort of thing. So I just kind of whatever. From there, I started learning more and more as I was already had that job, and like so then I got to the point where like I realized the programs that I was selling, I just wasn't behind them. I was like, this kind of works, and like if you're like that sort of box gym personal training, it's more of the sticking to your appointments, showing up and doing it every day compared to the actual programs that you're getting kind of where so like to my mind it was like all right like and they're expensive, so like to me it was just hard for me to sell a program that I knew you could have 1,000 times better program than what I'm selling you, so it just got hard to sell because I didn't believe in that program. So I went back to tree trim and I worked for them. Like it was one of those things where like it was a good place. I enjoyed doing it, but it just wasn't what I wanted to do forever. Like I knew I kind of fell into the job, whatever. So then I was always dabbling, looking for a sales job. Like I said, it was one of those where like I wasn't gonna just leave for any and everything. It had to be the right, good fit. Like I want to find what I want to do forever in order to leave this job, kind of thing. So like I said, I jumped into that insurance stuff. I just scrolling on, I don't even remember, Indeed maybe, whatever it was. And found like insurance stuff, agent, your own business, whatever. And I was like, let's take a look, I guess. And then, like more and more I learn in it and the more and more I do it and realizing like it's one thing I really iterate with my clients and the people I'm working with, like, because I'm that middleman. I'm the middleman to the insurance. Everybody hates insurance. I hate insurance. I'm a homeowner. I got a car. Like, I hate it too. I'm 100%. Like, I have the people complain to me about it. Like, I have to be like, all right, like, I understand you. 99.9% of what everybody's complaining about, I agree with 100%. And like, I have to reiterate, like, I'm on your side. Like, I agree with you. I'm a homeowner. Like, I'm going through the same thing. I work with almost 50 insurance carriers, and there's one of them that you get a 15% discount with if I was insured by them, which I'm not. So like, just because I'm an insurance agent, like, I don't get big breaks and like, I got the agent discount, like that sort of thing. So like iterating, like I just take my job as you have to have insurance. Everybody has to have it. When you're paying for it, let's make sure what you're paying is going to something that you're going to be able to use when you need it versus all right, I got my super low premiums, the lowest I can get. Claim time comes and, well, now I'm out $50,000 on my roof and siding because I was insured improperly. That sort of thing. So like say taking that knowledge and like being able to help people out. So it still is that, like I say, I'm helping people out, where some people like, insurance agent, you scam, like this and that. Like, yeah, I guess to a point, but somebody has to do it.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like I'm a pretty good guy to do it, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not that. I kind of talk in our networking groups before about it, where like, I've had many of clients where I've told like, you're in a good spot. Like, I don't even present them a policy, because the policy they have is great. You have good coverage. Everything's properly covered. You're at a good premium. Like, I don't have anything better to offer you. There's no reason that you need to be shopping your insurance. Like, you can go try somebody else if you want, but I have nothing better to offer you. Where versus the, all right, well, this is a little bit more expensive, and now you're just playing that dirty salesman trying to get them to come with yours, even though it's not as good as the cover that they have, or that sort of thing. Like, I have no problem being like, yeah, I just did it today. Like, you're in the best spot possible.
And that's the long game, because they're going to come back to you later because they trust you, or tell their friends. Like, he didn't even try and upsell me. He just told me my policy was good.
Yeah, I hope, like I say, that's one of those things where you're just hoping the good guy comes around to you.
Yeah, and that's so cool that you got into insurance, because I got my license to sell life insurance when I lived in California. But like, to pass that test, I just like studied super hard for like 2 weeks. I think you were supposed to take like 3 months on it. And after the test was over, I forgot everything because I couldn't get passionate about it. And then I made like one sale that then the next day they canceled. It never went through. So yeah. Yeah, couldn't get into it. So that's cool that like you started reading and learning and were like, yes, this is the right job for me.
Yeah, like I said, just kind of fell into it and worked out, and then it actually worked really well, because so originally what I was looking at in Indeed was with State Farm, so it's a big box office.
Yep.
I would have been working for, I forget the guy's name, out of somewhere down south, and it's just completely remote, never have to go to the office, 100% from home. But it's just State Farm, and you're pretty much just cold calling people. And I hadn't never fresh into the insurance. State Farm, like, cool,
Yeah.
good company. Like, it was on the Indeed, it's like, get your own office and Mora and all this and that. And I was like, cool, So like, that's who set me up with taking my test and getting me licensed and everything. And like, so I had interviewed with that guy a couple times, was hired, just had to get through the background check and everything else. And then I ended up failing the background check from DWI and something that happened over like 10 years ago, that where like I got a DWI, and I think I got assault on a police officer and a few other things. And I told them about the DWI, but I just completely forgot about the other charges that were with at the same day. And like, so whatever, big dumb thing that I ended up not being able to get the job because of my background check. So that's how I ended up finding another, because I got licensed at this time, and I was like, well, I'm not going to just give up. Like, I'm going to try to find another insurance job. Like, it was I didn't feel like, all right, background's garbage. Like, I was like, fluky, whatever. Like, I thought it was dumb that I didn't get it, whatever. So that's where I get into Capstone, and this is a brokerage working with a bunch of different carriers, and like, I didn't realize how great I now have it and what I was getting myself into, and like, it's almost a blessing now that I didn't get that job and I got what I got now, because just like there is no cold calling, and like, I know that about myself, of I'm good if you inquire, hey, I want to get some insurance, then I'm calling you, hey, what's up, getting your info, all that. They're great at doing that, but just the random, hey Beth, yeah, some of this, like, I'm terrible at just them random cold calls, nobody knows you're calling, that sort of thing. I'm just not good at it. It's like, I don't do any of that. Like, leads, my boss super good at networking, building his company that he's built now, and so like, we have really good Google reviews and all that stuff going on, so like, the leads just flow in, so there is no, like I say, cold calling. It's people are always inquiring online, on Google, on wherever, for our agency, just looking to get a quote. So now I'm calling you, but you asked me to call you, so like, all right, great, now I can do that. Like, yeah, it's kind of a cold call to a point, but they're asking me to call them.
Yeah.
So like, I'm good with that sort of thing. So like I say, realizing now, like, all right, like, I found a good place, and realizing the benefits that I just kind of fell into, basically, or just the setup where renewals, like, your insurance renews every year, where now I get paid on renewals, where that other State Farm, you weren't getting paid on your renewals, you only got paid on your new business. So like, with this company, like, all my new business I get paid, but them clients I sold policy to a year ago, they renewed with us. Like, I paid all them renewals, and a lot of agencies, you don't get that stuff. And just the great setup he has. He's 35-ish years old and has been in the industry 14, 15 years and has been through all them bad things and worked with people, for people that don't pay you on renewals and don't do all these things, and set his company up to do all those things that he didn't like, kind of thing.
Yeah.
One of those, like, players now the coach and sets it up for the players kind of deal.
Yeah. Designed it for success.
Yeah.
What's the biggest misconception in insurance? Like, yeah, what's the biggest misconception?
Kind of hard to tell just because I am relatively fresh, but realizing, like, just pretty much everything people hear, you know, like the news said this about insurance, or the state's doing this with insurance, or like, for the most part, like, it can't, like, oh, Minnesota's going up 15%. Well, like, each carrier has to do their own individual thing. It's not like every carrier is going up this percent no matter what. Like, when you get your renewals in the mail, they tell you, all right, your home took a 23% increase. Well, when on your renewals, everybody that has, unless it has to do with like an accident or something like that, but most everybody that has that specific carrier gets that same percent. Like, we get emails whenever a carrier makes a change. Whatever, so at carrier X, Y, and Z, home is going up 13.1% on new business September 8th, and on renewals November 3rd. And like, so we get them emails to tell us every time a carrier is making a change. And like I say, so them carriers, they do individually make them change. To make them change, they have to go through big board and do all this stuff and get everything passed and cleared to make the changes. So it's not like I say, like a big statewide, this is happening kind of thing.
Huh.
And like there's a whole bunch of different misconceptions that, like I say, I'm finding out new ones every single day, and like, and kind of like on both ends of the things of like that isn't true, or the people think that, like, you know, both ends of it are to the max, I guess you could say.
Have you tried explaining insurance to your kids yet?
No.
It's so hard. I remember some
No.
kids asked me one time, they're like, well, what's insurance? And I told them, I don't know, like, just you pay this company to pay you back if something goes wrong. And they're like, but why would you do that? Like, just trying to explain it to them. They just like couldn't comprehend it. I mean, I wasn't doing the best at explaining it either, but
No,
it'll be
I've never
interesting
tried.
when you
I know
when you explain it to
Lucian,
them.
he'll say, I think he says that my dad sells insurance. So like, he knows I sell insurance,
Okay.
but I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he already knows and I just don't know that he knows. He knows things that how do you know that?
I know. I know. They're such antennas. They just pick everything up.
Yeah. It's kind of like paying extra for like an ice cream cone just in case you drop it. Then the next one you don't have to pay for.
Well, there you go.
I don't know.
Where were
I mean,
you when this
that's where
kid
my
asked
mind
me that?
immediately
Yeah,
went.
no, that's great. That's a great explanation.
Yeah. How do you stand out in an industry that's dominated like by big corporations, kind of like State Farm and, you know, Geico and all those other?
All about customer service.
Okay.
That's what our agency is really big on, customer service, and then
Yeah.
just knowledge.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, somebody who's really good at cold calling might not be good at what you're good at, which is, like, building the relationship with the customer and, like, following through and, like, keeping this ongoing partnership. You know, not saying that's the case all the time, but not everybody can be good at everything. So, you know what I mean? That's why I
Yeah.
feel like this company is so good for you, because you're not cold calling, but you're making these, like, long-lasting, impactful relationships.
Yeah, that's kind of the biggest thing that makes us stand out is like for renewals, say, so like say every time your year comes up or 6 months, if your auto's on 6 months, you just get your 99.9% of the time you just get your letter in the mail saying your auto's going from $1,000 to $1,300 this year. No explanation why. You might call that number or whatever and try to get something out of them. They give you the normal runaround of what they give every person that calls in, and you're on to the next whatever. Where for us, we reach out. So like we have so I'm like an agent, and then we have CSR, so our account managers, who they're the ones that handle the accounts 3 months after I sell them. So I manage them for 3 months, then they take over, and so they have everything on the, like, boss's crazy AI stuff. So like we have all of our technology super innovated, and like
Yeah.
everything's scheduled. So like I want to say it's 60 days before your renewal comes up. you come into their pipeline and they're reaching out to you. Sometimes it's even before like your renewals are released. It's called like the carrier will release what your new rates are going to be and everything, all your changes to that happen to your policy. So like every year your policy goes through what's called a renewal. So like if that carrier had taken a rate increase, a rate decrease, if you got a new ticket, you had a claim, that sort of thing. They just run all the reports again every year, and now you're getting that new premium. So that's why I say a year goes by, your renewals come through, it goes up or down, whatever. That's what I'm saying when the Nationwide gives us that email, all homes are going up 12% on renewal this date, that date. So that's when, say, your renewal comes, you went up 12%, whatever the case may be. We reach out in advance, give you the call, hey, run through it. So your auto's going up like this, your home went down this little bit. Do you like that? Make sure you're happy with everything. Or we have your home went up 2,000, your auto went up 1,000. We're going to shop this for you. It renews in a month from now, so we got a month to find you a better spot before these renewal rates hit, where all them other carriers, you get your letter in the mail, and unless you call, and 90% of the time, even if you call, you ain't getting anywhere. We're like I say, we take that proactive reach out, make sure everything's good, go through it with you, explain, yep, all homes with so-and-so carrier took that percent increase. So like it depends on your dwelling coverage. If you have a $200,000 house, well, 10% increase, it ain't too terrible. But when you have a $1.3 million house, so now you have a 10% increase. All right, now our premiums we're talking $700, $1,300 compared to $100, $200 kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like I said, it varies each occasion, each policy or whatever, but like I say, just being proactive, running through all that stuff with people, and as well having the capabilities of going to multiple different carriers to check stuff out. Like say you work just with State Farm, well, here's your renewal. If you don't like it, you're gonna have to call me now because all that person has to offer is whatever State Farm has to offer.
Yeah. Now you have to put in the work to try and find a cheaper premium and transfer all of that stuff over. And odds are you have to renew because you can't lapse it, you know. So
and like I say, where we already have all of your information. We have everything. It's a quick and easy process for us to get shopping again, see what else is out there, see them other rates.
Yeah, that is so cool. Huh. Do you ever feel like it's like a Where's Waldo situation? Because you're like trying to stick out within the sea of everyone else? Because, I mean, you go online and type in insurance or homeowners insurance. I mean, there has to be thousands of people that pop up.
I want to say a little bit, but I don't really, just because my boss, like I say, he's so good at the tech savvy, the Google, all that stuff. So like I say, like I had one client calling, and like every single time I talked to him, 5-10 times, whatever, every single time I would talk to him, he would, dude, I don't know how you guys have that sort of review, like, because we have 400 and we have contests all the time. We have 480 whatever some odd reviews. And we have, I want to say we have 2 1-stars, a couple of 3-stars, but like majority are all 5 stars. And like, so he's always like, every single time he's like, I don't know how you have that kind of rating. And like, so we're huge about Googles. I'm always asking people for Google reviews, and like that's what helps us stick out. I would say one of the biggest is just by having that Google. So like that's where most of our clients come from. He has super good referral partners, and we get a lot of referrals too, but a lot of our leads come from that Google, just because people Google and we're the first thing that come up. And we have really good at like ice castles. We're the first one that come up for ice castles. There's a lot of specific things. When you Google something specific, we're the number one that comes up for a lot of specific things too.
I did read an article though that said that if you're above a 7.8, people don't trust. They think that you have people writing your reviews for you. So you might want to get some bad ones in there.
Like,
no, just kidding.
To a point, but like I said, it's one of those where like, you can look through ours and you can tell.
Yeah. If somebody really cares, they're going to read the comments. So, who knows if there's anything scientific about that.
There aren't any AI emoji.
Right? Because that is probably where people would stop trusting, is they would think, oh, they just have an AI bot, like leaving them comments. But you can tell. You can tell on the Amazon ones. Yeah,
I say it's crazy the amount of like, and like the reach, like, so we have people, like I have a decent amount of people, so like for landlord policies, where come up number 1 for that, and like I do pretty much all of our landlord stuff. I take care of it.
Wow,
cool.
And so like I have multiple clients that live in California. They got rentals in Minneapolis, and they seen us on Google. They got us, or like I have some way up north on like Red Lake, some in Brainerd. I've had a decent amount around Red Lake, and it's all just because of our Google stuff.
Yeah.
It comes back.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah, that's definitely something to be proud of.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like I said, my boss is like, "Where are they from?" And like I said, it'll be somewhere way up north. Like, it's crazy where that stuff can reach to.
Yeah.
Like, they come from everywhere.
Yeah. So I've heard that hurricanes and other natural disasters can make premiums go up like nationwide, or at least that's like the talk. Is that even true?
Yeah, to a point.
Okay.
Like I said, depending on your care, like State Farm, you have all them California stuff. Like the insurance is like the definition of insurance is putting small risks all into a big pool of risks. So
Okay.
if you have State Farm, every single person with State Farm, all of your stuff is in the same risk pool. So like I say, when you get them renewals, it can differ state from state, but it's still all one pool. So like say, like I kind of explain to people where like everybody's premium's going up. Everyone wants to know why his premium's going up. Well, everybody, how many roofs and how many times you hear people say like, I gotta wait for that next hailstorm to get my roof taken care of.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, great, awesome. You just got your $10,000 roof paid, so your insurance just paid you $10,000. Well, guess what? They're a business too. So if they're paying out $10,000, guess what? They have $20,000 has to come back in somehow, some way. And so when you get the roof, your neighbor gets a roof, everybody's paying for your roofs. So it's kind of relating. Like I went to a handful of them conferences and stuff, and the one older guy that's been in the industry for however many years, he's a lawyer, this and that, has explained all this stuff and explained the stories, and like kind of like I'm terrible at like, because I listen to podcasts all the time too, and like so I'm good with like I know these things, but yet I can't iterate them 100% because I just
I'm the same way.
listen to it, but I haven't spoken it out, figured it out 100% with people,
totally,
100%.
totally
But anyways, it's like he was explaining like in the 80s, it was like 13.2% of all homeowners have ever made a claim on their homeowners insurance. And like ever since 94 or something like that, the percentage never went below 26% or something crazy where like basically the mindset just switched where it was like car insurance, you know, like you only use your car insurance when you get in a car accident. You aren't using your car insurance for new tires, your whatever, stuff like that, where your home, I need that new roof, gotta have insurance pay for it. Well, like insurance companies, like I'm learning. So I've learned, like I said, I agree with people 100% on what they disagree with insurance. And like I said, I agree with you, but now I just am in the point where like, now I just have the knowledge of why they're doing it. And not that I agree with why they're doing it, I just understand it, I guess, now, why they're doing it. So like they're trying to get like your roof. They're trying to make your roof more like the tires on your car, where, yeah, you got a brand new roof, hailstorm came and destroyed it. Yeah, they'll put a brand new roof on there for you. But you have a 20-year-old roof and a hailstorm comes and destroy it. They don't want to pay for a whole brand new roof that you should have been replacing anyways because it's old. Yeah. That sort of thing. So it's kind of weird, but like I say, like I just understand it now. So like he said kind of like the 90s was when some certain storm came through and all insurance carriers sent out these agents to pretty much get all your roofs and all your claims accepted, paid for. Your roof's $12,000, you got a $15,000 check for your roof. That sort of thing, making everybody happy. Well, the next year another storm comes through and now they're sending out the complete opposite. Like I want to say, like in his story, he had like the first year they sent out all these guys from down south, happy go lucky, talking Southern, selling you this, getting you all happy because you got $15,000, and then you have the next year it was all salespeople that were like from Minnesota, from the area, and like denying all these claims, and everybody like confused why. Well, because this insurance company's just lost millions of dollars on all these roof claims they just paid out, and now they're trying to refigure out like what's going on. And so like now in the industry, you have a all perils deductible. So that's your deductible for your house burns down, your deductible, you have to pay that in order for them to insurance to kick in. Where now all insurance carriers are adding a wind hail deductible. So it's separate from your all perils. So you only have to use that deductible if it's a wind and hail. So basically your roof and your siding. Yeah. And that is a higher deductible than what your normal all perils deductible is usually. Sometimes it can be the same, but now it's getting to the point where usually that's a certain percent of what your overall dwelling coverage is. Just basically making the owner of the home have more meat in the bones to your roof. So now your deductible, instead of being $1,000 deductible to get a brand new roof, you have a $7,000 deductible for a brand new roof. Your roof is 10 years old and they're putting depreciating value on it. So now they're only paying for 60% of that roof instead of 100%, and you got to pay $7,000 instead of $1,000. All right, maybe I'll just pay for my brand new roof. Yeah. That kind of thing. So like I said, like, I understand it. Not that I agree with it, but yet I also it's kind of that seeing it from both sides, where when you're just a homeowner, you don't deal with insurance, you don't really know the background and all that. You just see your premium and you're like, hell. Like, I get that point 100%, but then I also get, now that I see it, I get the business aspect. Insurance companies, they're a business too. I get it. And then it's also you see all insurance companies that made this much billions of dollars this year, this much billions of dollars last year, and to the ins and outs of that, I got no idea. I'm just an agent that's done it for 7 months. I don't know how that works. But then also any other business, how many businesses do you know that are we made this much this year, perfect, let's make that much next year? Zero. They all are gonna, we made this much this year, now we gotta make this much next year. So you gotta, it's a give and take. I see both sides of the pie now, kind of thing. So I'm still a homeowner, I still stupid insurance, but now I get it, I understand it, it's a business, they gotta operate and run too.
So is there any insurance secrets to lower premiums?
There can be. It's all so individual based, so it's just knowing you might have 4 endorsements that you don't need, so let's get rid of those because you don't need them, and that last agent just sold you on them because he sold you on them. So we can do that. Or there's that's really it. I mean, it's so cut and dry, kind of. We put the information in there, it gives us the number. We add an endorsement, it gives you the there's only so much you can fluctuate. It's not I like this guy, let's give him a 3% discount.
It's not taxes,
there is no,
the more you know.
If you skimp on something, you're lowering you're opening up a hole somewhere. There is no we can get rid of this because we have this and this overtakes. There isn't any of that secret stuff like that. So it's we can. You should be covered. Your home should be covered for $500,000. We'll rate it for $300,000. Save you on your premiums. But now you have an overall claim. You're in a life-changing situation because you're $200,000 short on your home. So like I said, there isn't really secrets in that aspect. It's just some of them. Yeah. Some of them. Basically, the only time I see it is them when you have the extra endorsements that you don't really need. Extra furs, jewelry, silverware, all this extra coverage that I got none of that. Or the rental homes that have all this extra coverage on their personal property and this and that, when they don't have a single thing in the home, they just want the home covered and that sort of thing. So a little bit, but not. There is no, I got this secret, don't tell them kind of thing. Maybe there isn't. I just haven't ran into it yet, I guess. Yeah. I don't think so.
Let us know.
It's so I say, everything's so cut and dry, and there is no there's any little when you're doing their policies, when you're quoting them, not all the carriers, most of the carriers are so integrated. Everything's got so much technology into it where there's one little thing wrong, it blocks you. So usually if everything's cut and dry, pretty square, easy, nothing awkward about it, you can get right through it, don't have to talk to underwriting or anything really and issue the policy. But if there's you have people where you live in an apartment, you get an auto policy. Well, sometimes it will pull up every single person in that apartment to see if they need to be listed on that auto policy. All carriers for your auto, they want all licensed drivers in your home to be listed on your policy. Even if you two live together, you're just roommates, you obviously have separate everything, you still need to be listed on each other's policies. Not necessarily rated, depending on the carrier, but they want them listed just because there's a potential that you someday might drive that vehicle. Whatever. Insurance. They want that. So that stuff comes up, and say it's say an apartment building, a home, you're buying a brand new house and you want to switch your auto over, whatever, them people that used to live in the home are popping up on there because it's that address, whatever correlates to it comes in, and you're saying they don't live there anymore. That sometimes is an underwriting block just because you're doing that. Just because you're saying them people don't live there anymore, they need some sort of clarification. So like it's weird like I say, just the fine lines of everything that there is no like sneak this by them because they need, if you're change the year of your roof, so they have like the verification of your roof age because roof is such a big thing in the industry now. You need to have your paid in full receipt of your roof being put on, and then that they can change your date of I got a roof in 2023 to update your stuff. So like everything is very, I need a copy of this, I need a copy of that.
Yeah.
Cross your T's and dot your I's sort of stuff. So like I say, there isn't too many loopholes that aren't going to get you in trouble if you get caught on them kind of thing.
So in your opinion, it is not so complicated. They didn't make it this complicated to just confuse me and make me give them my money. It's actually...
Yeah, I think, like I said, it's one of those where like, most everybody, when you talk to them, they're like, I hope everybody says that this, and most everybody, does say that. Like, I don't know this, I don't understand it. Some of them kind of are like trying to as you're going through, and some of them like, I don't care, tell me how much I have to pay every year.
Yeah, that's me.
And like, so it's like that, it's the ebbs and the flows of the like I say, because we're so big on education, like we have the people that like, I don't care, I just want to, how much is my premium sort of thing. And like, to be honest, so like with our agency, we have minimums, so like for your auto policy, Minnesota state minimums is $30,000 per person, $60,000 per accident, $10,000 for bodily or for property damage. So like that is your state minimums. You have that, your box is checked for having insurance and not getting a ticket on the road. Where for our agency, we won't write below $250,000 per person, $500,000 per accident, $100,000 property damage, just because of the situations it can get people in where you have $10,000 in property damage, you go get in a wreck and you wreck two brand new Suburbans that cost $120,000 each. Well, your insurance paid $10,000 of it, and now you're on the hook for $230,000, and they can garnish your wages, liens on your house, do all that sort of stuff. It's like we have them agency minimums that will sell, and if you want something lower than that, like you can get it by all means, but you're just not going to get it through our agency. So to a point, with people that are just looking for give me that lowest bottom dollar price, we kind of tell them to go elsewhere. Like, not like respectfully, like it is what it is, but we try to give them that knowledge as well. So like I said, like a lot of times ours isn't going to be the cheapest if you're just shopping on price. But when you're shopping, not necessarily wisely, but you're shopping for them coverages, you want to be properly covered but have the best price while properly covered, that's where we're a good fit. That's where we come in competitive and we can do good work and be competitive and helpful. But when I say it's I just want the state minimums, I just want to check that insurance box, we're not usually the best fit for that kind of people in our agency, to be honest. So I do have some of them that they don't really like, they want the proper coverage, but they want that to be your job kind of thing. We're like, respect that 100%, cool. Like that's where like, all right, you got this, you got that, here's your number kind of thing. Or you have go through every line, here's this number, here's that number, this is covered for that, that's covered for that, and everything in between, I guess. So
I have $50 extra to spend a month. You decide what I should do,
to your point,
what
like,
I should put it towards.
As long as you want proper coverage, I'm cool. We'll figure out like here's your price, here's that. But like I say, if it's I'm just want the lowest coverage, I don't care what my coverage is, I just want the lowest premium.
Yeah.
I don't really deal with it too much, just because like I say, I can't compete with it because your 1-800 Progressives are going to be half the price that I was because of terribly covered. So when after you get in an accident and after you get all that figured out, then give me a call when you realize like I do need to have proper coverage kind of thing.
Yeah. Is there insurance for like IT threats? So like
all that stuff.
Data breaches and like holding information hostage?
Yeah, like there's multiple different lines. So like we have lines for like data breach, hostage stuff. Like you have coverage to a certain amount of money they'll pay for you to get your stuff back. Certain amount of money they'll pay to get your computer fixed. They have bail
Jeez.
bonds money. They have like identity fraud stuff coverage for that,
Wow.
and like that's all like right attached to home policies, and you have it with commercial as well. Commercial has even more data breach stuff because you're running cards and everything like that. So they
Yeah.
have even way more data breach cover. Like there's sometimes with depending on the industry, where like just the property, I mean just the data coverage, like the pretty much all of them though, like all of your data coverage, all your stuff, like that is the majority of what your premium is all of them coverages. Just because like I say, it's such a crazy thing now where.
Yeah.
But it's because a lot of them limits is you have 250,000 for this, 250,000 for that, 250,000 for that, and like you look at it, and somebody goes in and does some of these things too. You could have $2 million claim that's all in data breach stuff and stuff like that. So like when you look at it, like realizing like risks is everything that goes into your premium, every risk that you're open to. Well, your risk of data breach is higher than your risk of a hailstorm or whatever to a commercial client, you know.
Yep.
Like that's one of the biggest risks is that data stuff.
Yeah,
So
that's
look
unbelievable.
at Target. How big a claim was that? Probably when everybody's information gets stolen from Target, you know, like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear about that. When was
That
that?
was a while ago.
Okay.
That was a few years ago when I remember I think Caitlin got an email or something about when they had gotten a hold. Everybody that shopped at so and so Target from this date to this date, they got all your stuff basically, kind of thing. Yeah, so I say there's coverage for pretty much everything.
It's just such a hard thing to gauge because I mean, it's like, you know, obviously, yeah, Target would be a target for a hacker or whatever, you know, but then, you know, it comes to like a smaller company or something like that. I mean, obviously they have proprietary information, but it's like, at what point, you know, how much money, how do you value that, you know? So that's where my mind leads. But yeah,
and it's weird, like now dabbling in more and more commercial stuff, just realizing like, each industry has different risks and whatnot, and like just the options that you can have for like I was doing a guy that has a auto glass repair service, and like the coverage is for the glass is covered. Like there's certain carriers where the glass is covered while it's on his truck parked at his house, while it's on his truck while he's doing service, but it's not covered in transit.
Oh, you can do that?
Just the fine knit details in things in specific carriers. So like when I was quoting him, I had to be sure to ask the underwriter like, what's the transit coverage here? And like so like there's a specific amount of coverage from in transit, and that's different than that amount while it's parked on site versus while it's parked at his house. And like just all like they say when you get into the commercial stuff, just the fine knit everything, or like the auto repair shops where you have the coverages for like after the vehicle's fixed, while the vehicle's in your possession. And just all those sort of things. So like say like now you have the vehicle's in your possession. Well, now one of your employees backs into the side of it with a different car, and like just all these other options that could happen, and all these other risks that are in that industry and that sort of thing. It's just I say every time I dabble into a new commercial industry, it's a whole new like I'll do a few and be like, all right, I think I'm pretty well about. It's big about having your questions and not having to go back and forth multiple times with the client to try to get information out of them. So I'll be like, all right, pretty good grasp of, I think I should have all the information I need with this group of questions here. And it'll be a whole new industry, and I'll be like, all right, well, let's start here. And then it's 7 times back and forth, like, all right, I need to know this and what's that and that sort of thing. So like I say, it's every time I get into a new industry, that part, it's a new learning experience with what questions do I got to ask this guy now?
Wow. Finish the sentence. The best kind of client is someone who
cares. Just cares.
So you don't want someone like me who's like, I don't care, figure it out for me.
Well, no, not like that. Like, not that you don't care, but like, you don't care about knowing your insurance. You care. I just care about somebody that cares about having proper coverage.
Yeah.
Not about like,
Yeah.
I don't need you to ask me, well, what's
Yeah.
this cover? Like, I don't care.
My
I
mom
don't-
called and said I had to get insurance.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's not that you don't care about what this policy and how it all works. Just somebody that cares about having proper coverage.
Yeah.
I guess, you know, like I say, like it's
Yeah.
the.
That's
"Ah,
just
this
more
bad," she
fun to
just
work
tell her
with,
how much it
yeah.
is. She just wants to make sure everything's good for her. Let her know how much it is. She's good to go. That sort of thing. We're like, that's
Yeah.
perfect.
Because I think you do care. I've heard you talk about insurance a few times now, and I just think that you do care about building a relationship with people. So yeah, you want somebody who cares enough to get to know you and get to know the company and all that, I think.
Yeah, like I said, just to know, because like if you don't care, you're not getting what you deserve from our agency.
You don't get to be fulfilled by helping somebody if they don't care,
you're not
and
getting
so
what
then
you
it's
paid
like
for,
less
kind of.
purposeful.
Yeah, I guess
in
kind of
life,
like
yeah.
you're not, like I say, one thing I don't remember who it was. I think it was that same old guy I was talking about before. One thing he said, like, when he sells a policy, he'll shake their hand and be like, "This policy also comes with an agent. My name's Seth," or whatever.
Yeah.
So like kind of like that. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't care, like you're not getting all of what you're paying for, because you're paying for the knowledge that we're giving you, and like, you know, like say, like it's not. It might be one thing if like you don't really care about how this works, how that works, or whatever, but just the knowledge of knowing if my sump pump backs up, I have or I have water backup coverage. If a hailstorm comes through, I know I have matching roofing and siding, so I'm not gonna have 13 mismatched shingles on my roof.
Right.
That sort of caring kind of thing.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you're in an accident and you know who to call. And you're going to walk them through each and every step and make sure that they actually feel like you care as well.
Yeah, that's
you
kind of
know?
one of the things when we're talking with new prospects, new clients or whatever, and they're hemming and hawing, they want to switch agencies, whatever. One of the things is like, do you know your agent's name? No? Time to do an insurance review, because you should know your insurance agent by name.
Yeah.
And like that kind of thing. Like, so it's like that relationship where like, yeah, I'm not texting all my clients every day, hey, how's your day going type of thing, but also like, I let them know, like, so I kind of said that the account managers will take over after 3 months or whatever. I've had multiple clients say like, yeah, I talked to Bailey, so should I be reaching out to Bailey if I have an issue, or should I continue to talk to you? And I was like, just kind of explaining, Bailey's the account manager, she handles renewals and this and that and this and that, but feel free to reach out to either of us. So like, I don't, I sold you, I don't deal with you anymore, you're Bailey's problem kind of thing. Like, no, like, welcome, let me know if you have any issues, whatever the case may be. Like I have one client who's now a friend. He like, I haven't hung out with him, but I would text on like, not about business, just about normal stuff. His dad was going through some stuff and just became a friend, you know, just out of, because he inquired about insurance.
Yeah.
You know, and just stuff like that. Or like I want to say there was a couple of other people that I've just became friends with kind of thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So landlords should call you. Who else should call you? Like specifically, like do you have like a niche? Anybody should call you. But
I basically we do, for the most part, your home, your auto, your umbrella. A lot of landlords. So like I say, I do a lot of landlord stuff. I had one client just a week or two ago. He had 17 rental properties and one apartment complex, and not counting the apartment complex, but between all of his 17 rental properties, I saved him over $8,000 a year on his premiums, and got him over, I want to say it was like $1.3 million in overall dwelling coverages across them 17 homes. We upped it by 1.3, roughly around there, and got the deductibles or his premiums over $7,000 lower in the year. So like we have super good carriers for them landlord policies. So like I say, that's just my niche that I kind of fell into because we're such a good hot commodity, and there's kind of that thing where it helps because there's most of your people with rentals, they don't just have one, they got a few. So it's kind of that help them out with more than one. They're more proactive to help you. Where person, they just have that one rental, they don't think about it as much. Where when it's kind of a business or whatever you want to say, they're a little bit more proactive into caring about your insurance. All right, how can you help me? How can we make sure everything's covered right, get my premiums a little bit lower, that sort of thing. So yeah, like investors, property investors, that sort of thing help out quite a bit. Fix and flips, we have some carriers that'll do that, where that's a pretty hard product to place. Not a lot of carriers will do fix and flips just because it's a weird risk. You're building everything and having it written correctly to make sure it's like you can have it where that home is, you just got to put that one last shingle on. You took a break that night, a tornado comes through. How was your policy written? Because if you were just written to too much to go into depth, but if you aren't written correctly, you could just be paid like that house is still in the process of being built and whatever. Say your $500,000 home, you only have $200,000 in coverage because you didn't continuously update that fix and flip coverage, where stuff like that. Like I say, just them niche kind of things that I've just kind of fallen into that I apparently am doing good at.
What have your past jobs taught you that you use now?
It's kind of to the point where it wasn't necessarily things I did, but it was kind of the things I've learned. I learned them at my past job. I just might have not implemented them because in the back of my mind, kind of was always not satisfied at them old jobs. Always kind of looking for what's next, what's my career kind of thing. So, like, what could it be an example? Like to a point, kind of leadership. Like right now, I don't really, like, it's me as an agent. I don't really have anybody to lead, but it's still acting like you do, kind of. And I guess in my past job was where I transitioned quite a bit, I would say, from not necessarily the sheep, but just didn't really care. I wasn't you do you, I'll do me, that kind of thing, where like, I wasn't looking to follow anybody, but I wasn't looking to be followed either. Like, I just wanted to do my own thing, clock in, clock out, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then growing and realizing kind of so I did take steps at my last job and kind of became more of a leader, and just realizing how to lead people, and realizing how hard it is. And just because like I'm that type of person where in my mind I get it, I understand it, so I just kind of, all right, they should get it and understand it. And then it was that process of realizing like everybody's mind is different, everybody works different, and just because you think this and you think it's common sense, or you don't understand, like realizing like when you, like some people, like you sit there, they say something, they do something, and you're just dumbfounded, like how could you possibly? So like I found myself like, just because at my last job I was around a decent, like it was a tree company, so people, groundsman, and just like you rifle through people, so it wasn't like, not saying bad things about anybody, but it's just one of them jobs that you rifle through people. So like you have them high school kids that have never done any manual labor before, and now we got them out here trying to lug brush across yards and like doing that sort of thing, and like they'll just, some of the things that they do, and you're just like, what in the fuck, dude? Like,
yeah.
And like, so like to the point, dealing with that so much, I've got to the point where like before, and like I feel like maybe it's not a natural instinct to just like get mad, like the fuck, you idiot, dude. Like, and like I got to myself to the point where like I got interested, like I'm interested in people, so like just not getting mad and just wondering like, how does their mind work, dude? Like how can like what did it take in your life? Like what was the process that your life and your mind went through to get to you to think that doing that was like correct or even like a logical thing to do? Like, I remember like a specific example one time, up in a bucket cutting down this pine tree, and right behind me are the power lines, big tall white pine, right behind me are the power lines. So I cut it down, drop it to the ground, and it was one of them down in the city, so trees here, power lines here, road is right here. So we're stacking the brush, picking it up right here. So I got to drop it down right here because the power lines are here. If the power lines weren't there, I could throw it over there.
Yeah.
But the power lines are right there, and so I got to drop it down. Groundsman got to drag it to the truck.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, what I'm doing this. One of the young groundsmen stops me, and like I'm running a chainsaw hard head on. It's like trying to talk to me. I'm up in the air, so I got to shut my chainsaw off. What's up, dude? He's like, could you just throw it over there in the pile so we don't have to drag it? And I was like, just go back to that, because like it's like I just couldn't comprehend it. So it's like I could get mad, yell at him, call him stupid, do all this, but it's like, all right, I'm just gonna pretend he didn't say that and go back to doing what I'm doing and like whatever, and just like things like that are just where you're thinking of like, what in the world, dude? And like I said, now I just kind of are interested in people and just wonder and think of like, how does your mind work, dude? Or like when you see people do crazy things in traffic, you're like, how do you think, like, how is that okay in your mind to just
seriously
turn around in front of like, how do you not comprehend this traffic going 70 miles an hour next to you? That you like just things like that, and like to a point where like you're never gonna understand it. And like, yeah, all right, there are just dumb people, 100%. But then also like say like, or like, to the same point of just the not necessarily just the minds that can think of them crazy things like on the opposite side of like not the how can you possibly, but like how could you possibly think like those kind of things, and like that same kind of put the same thought process into both instead of just the you're dumb, you're an idiot, that guy's amazing, I'll never be able to do that. Like think about them both the same and kind of be like, what in the world? Like, how do you possibly think about this stuff like that?
Because some of us are really just in a different space,
like different. I feel like I'm
like the worst driver.
Random stuff.
I'm like the worst driver because I'm just not physically there. I'm physically there. I'm not really there though.
It's all right.
Yeah, just the like nobody else is around, but there's
I have to tell myself like, yes, you are on a road. There's other people you're affecting, because my brain just wants to like lollygag around. But you're right. Like you need the extra smart people around to, or like if it wasn't for people like me, the extra smart people wouldn't even look extra smart. So
they wouldn't have anybody to put them cones out for.
Yeah, right. It'd be
Oh man.
Yeah, like say like just like at that my old tree job, doing a bunch of intricate stuff, getting things OSHA, whatever, and like going to the depth of like you have to put things out for them people that are that way, like you have to make sure like, dude, who's gonna not do that? Who's gonna do that?
Yeah.
Well, there are a lot of people that will do exactly that, and you gotta put out that extra cone, do this, do them extra things, because there are them people, and you have well, nobody would do that. Yeah, people like, if you could think it, people will do it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you think modeled leadership for you, like growing up?
So I was thinking about the whole leadership thing. I think I was telling Beth a little bit about it. Like, so there's a handful of like dad figures and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But like I didn't really feel it as like the leadership type role.
Okay.
Or like I said, like I was telling Beth, I was like, a leader. I was like, I was never even a captain on the wrestling team. Like, I wasn't much of a leader of anything. And then I kind of think about it, and I was like, well, I do have my own wrestling academy now, and like I have a family, and like, all right, I guess I am a bit of a leader, and to a point. And it was a little while ago now, but I dove, and I'm that person that kind of gets in spurts of different categories of podcasts, listens to things, the rabbit holes to dive down, and that sort of thing. So like, I was on the leadership bandwagon, whatever you want to say, for a while, listening to Jocko and all these other leader podcast type things, and taking a lot out of it, and not necessarily realizing, but like trying to implement things as I can, kind of. Like I said, I'm not necessarily that tree crew leader anymore, or like I say, I don't have a sales team behind me that I'm leading. It's more of like my wrestling academy, high schoolers that I coach, or my kids, like that sort of thing, and finding how to critique and get, like I said, I list like the military leaders and the whatever, like those are the podcasts I'd ventured to and that sort of thing. So like getting the bits out of that I can put into my life kind of thing, or like how, or just like the moral of the story that they're talking, not necessarily like I'm not leading my kids into a battle, I'll go through a house to clear it or whatever, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But like say people wise, like I say, I've had a lot of father figures, but like I said, Tom Youngham's probably the biggest one.
Definitely.
You know, my wrestling coach for forever, and he's one of the biggest dad figures, more than a wrestling coach for sure.
Yeah.
And one of those, I think I was kind of telling Beth that I remember one time he had asked me after high school about how I think I would have done under a different coach, one of the other coaches for a different school that was just an old guy that had coached forever. And I was like, probably would have quit by 8th grade, just because I know who I was and how I was when I was younger. When I was in high school, I was that kid that stubborn, bullheaded.
Yeah.
You can't tell me this. Like, you're dumb. You're an adult. Like, shut up. I'm fine. I got it. That sort of thing. Where like most coaches and most leaders are gonna throw them kids to the side. Like, that's not the type of person. And I agree with them. Like, that's not a leader. That's not a person you're looking to lead anybody. But yet, giving them a chance, and like Tom was that perfect person that did that. Like I said, like he asked me that, and I was like, I probably would have quit wrestling in 8th grade. When if it wasn't for wrestling, I definitely wouldn't have finished high school. Like, it was the only thing that I had in my life, kind of at that high school time. Yeah. And I had a girlfriend and stuff that's now my wife and have a family, so like I had her definitely and that sort of thing. But like say like the motivating aspect of things, like the why am I going to finish high school kind of thing, you know, that sort of thing. Or like like I say, it was wrestling was all of it, and like Tom was the staple in that. And like I said, he was that person where he was more of a dad than anything. I was always over at his house, always hanging out with Andrew and doing all the stuff we did when we were in high school kind of thing, you know? And he was like, I realize it now. I don't think I realized it at that time, but now I realize like how smart or how well he knew how to handle a kid like me, because he was a more wrestling coach for how long, and that was most of the kids that he dealt with, you know? So he just, whether he did it on purpose or what have you, he knew what he was doing for me, I guess, kind of. Definitely. To a point.
Yeah.
Did you have any bad leaders that made you know, like, well, I don't want to be that way?
I don't think so. Like I said, like I was so stubborn, unwilling to listen or see anything that I didn't see. I don't know. I wouldn't really see a leader, whether they were good or bad at that time. You know, like I said, it was me, and like there wasn't any leader or followers at that time. It was me for the most part. Like I can remember one time, I don't remember, probably 9th grade maybe. Wade Lennox was our wrestling coach, and I don't know if it was because he was a probation officer and I was me or whatever, but I always bumped heads with him. Like I like Wade, love Wade, talk to him whenever I see him now, you know? But like at that time, I just can remember getting in an argument with him because I had just won a wrestling match by a handful of points, whatever, and he was telling me how I could have won by more. I could have done better. Yeah. And I was like literally arguing with him on the side of the mat while the next person is wrestling during a duel of like, I won, like just being a dumb, arrogant kid, you know? So like, even if I had a good leader at that time, like I probably wouldn't have seen it. Or like a bad leader, like I wasn't following anybody, I don't feel like, to even have a chance to be led good or bad, kind of, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
Just out there by myself, shithead, kind of.
Oh, man.
I would have to say. You know, definitely had family and friends and everything like that, but just that arrogant, can't tell him nothing kid.
Yeah. Yeah. So you mentioned like you've gone down different avenues of podcasts that you've dove into. What are some of your go-tos nowadays?
I always listen to funny comedy podcasts. I always listen to Theo.
Yeah. He's our favorite.
Yeah, I always listen to Theo and Two Bears, One Cave.
Okay, yep.
A handful that The Fighter and the Kid, for
Okay.
whatever reason, I'm faithful to them.
That's awesome.
I love Brendan and Brian. But what I venture back and forth, like Rogan, I don't listen to every single Rogan anymore.
Yep.
I did consistently for I don't know how many years. But now I kind of dabble back and forth just because when I do listen to all of his, I just go down whoever he has on right now. I'm on a different rabbit hole. trying to
Yeah.
listen, and then can't keep up with the ones I want to listen to and that sort of thing. So I have
There's
to
just so much now.
pick and choose a little bit. But
Yeah.
so like I went down the fitness rabbit hole for quite a while when I
Okay,
was
yep.
doing that. I've been going down the ancient history, ancient apocalypse stuff quite hard lately.
Okay.
Little bit of AI here and there, just when there's somebody that intrigues me about it. But basically, the ancient history and stuff has been my most recent.
That's awesome.
endeavor.
Yeah.
Aliens always. That's always a go-to.
That's sweet. That's something that I haven't dove into before, but it definitely would be interesting to get to know a little bit more about.
Like I said, it's a little bit about everything, not a lot about anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's one of those where like I listen to a bunch of stuff, but I don't ever talk about it because like I'll try to talk to somebody and then I just sound dumb because I'm like,
Same.
well, they said this and I'm
Same.
just throwing up things that I've heard, not that I actually know and can
Yeah.
explain. So it's like,
100%. I understand
do I actually
it.
know
It doesn't
it?
mean I can
I just
articulate it. Yes.
believe this person and like
Yeah.
there's other people that say that too, so I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure they're
Yeah.
right, or like or then I find myself because I like to make sure you see both sides of things, you know, like the great AI, the terrible take over the world AI, the whatever. So like then it's like I find myself like halfway down my rabbit hole, and I got this PhD guy that says this PhD guy that says that, and now I'm like, I give up. I don't know.
Yeah.
What to believe.
Yeah.
Right.
And somebody will talk to me about it, and I just agree with whatever they say because I don't really know. So it's like,
Yeah.
I'll just agree with you because I don't want to argue, and I don't know enough to argue. So
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah. Do you have a quote that's been like your favorite lately? Or no?
I'm always a Cam Hanes, David Goggins.
Okay,
guy.
yeah.
Who's gonna carry the boats? And what matters in the dark? And,
Yeah.
yeah. I always got my work harder. Nobody cares.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of Cam Hayes' book, but it's probably been 2 months. And that's probably why I haven't been running.
The new one,
I don't remember if it's new or not.
Endeavor.
What's the other one called?
Endeavor's the new one. I forget what. I think Endeavor's the new one.
I think
forget
it's
the
his.
old
I
one is.
think he's referred to his last book, so it must be the newer one. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
cool.
I like that guy. Listen to a book here and there. Then it takes me too long because I got a 5-hour book to listen to, and I could have had 5 hours of podcasting, and I'm
Yeah.
hemming and hawing.
I know. It's so stressful.
I need to work further away.
Yeah.
I need to drive. To
I
work
know,
more often,
I
so I got more
know.
listening
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. And last
Nice.
time I listened to Goggins for 10 minutes while James was listening to his audiobook, I went and ran a 10K out of nowhere and pulled my psoas muscle for like 6 months. Couldn't run.
They try to
It's
listen
like,
at
David.
home and the kids are listening, and it's like I probably shouldn't do this stuff. I guess.
Yeah.
I'm also the type of
Okay, he gets
you gotta
pretty
learn it at some point. Is 5 too young? Like
to
somebody's
learn his
gotta learn-
profanities. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's all right. We got Lucian to the point where like, chance he fuck bomb fucker doesn't care. But Lucian chance of saying bad words. Like I'm the person where like I explain to him like, it's been a couple years where like he comes home, farts and this and that and all this and acting like he does with his friends and like trying to explain like that's fine when you act that way with your friends, but not with mom and dad, not when other adults are around. So like, now we're graduating to like, buddy, if you say that stuff, like say it with your friends, like it is what it is. Like it's not okay, but you act the way you act with your friends. It is what it is, but not around other adults, not mom and dad, not when we're at home. That's a with your friends kind of thing. And like,
The respect.
so like I say, like I'm that person where like they swear on me or whatever. Like as long as you're not just dropping F-bombs and saying shit just for fun, like you're actually you stubbed your toe, you said like whatever, like I don't care.
Yeah.
Like you get a little bit older, you're contextually using it right. All right, thanks, dude. Good.
Yeah.
You're not saying it around grandmas or whatever or at the restaurant. Like we're good. I think anyway. That's how I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, James just never did swear. One time I saw him told the toy, "You're going in timeout." And I was like, "Why is that toy going in timeout?" And he said, "'Cause it said a bad word."
Not my kids.
Okay, so we always do would you rathers. Since you were in the tree cutting business, this would you rather is, would you rather have to sell insurance while hanging from a tree or bench pressing your body weight?
Bench pressing my body weight.
Easy,
Just weight
easy
training.
answer.
I didn't hang. That was the one thing I never did in the tree industry was climb. I did it teeny tiny bit, not your strategic, tie your all knots correctly, do all this.
Yeah.
That was one thing that I never did. Just didn't like it, didn't want to do it, and it's one of the things like tree climbers, they love climbing trees. Where I was like, dude, I'm not gonna start climbing trees and hate my life every single day I gotta climb a tree. Like, if I just don't learn it, they can't make me do it. Like, it was a struggle for. I was getting yelled at and bitched at and telling I need to learn how to do this. And just, if somebody gets hurt up there, you gotta save them. I was like, all right, dude, so you want the only time I climb to be to go fucking save somebody? It doesn't sound like probably not the best idea. Like,
Yeah.
it was a battle for years for me to just like, I never gave in. I was like, dude, I'm not learning it. We just need you to be able to do the small stuff. I'm like, I'm not dumb. I learned to do the small stuff. Guess what comes after that? The big stuff.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Good point.
Oh,
Good point.
man.
I know how you guys work, and I ain't doing it.
Exactly. If you could leave people with one takeaway about protecting what matters, what would that be?
Long form or short?
You tell us.
Short form, like you cover it, protect what matters.
Yeah.
You know, like that's plain and simple. It's just protect what matters. So it's that, don't just check the box. You know, a lot of people go into insurance with, it's just one box I got to check. Insurance, got it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it should be many, many boxes below that. Do I have the proper coverage on my home? Do I have the proper endorsements? Am I comfortable with my deductibles? And just that sort of thing. So making sure you properly cover everything that matters, I would say.
And know your agent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's
Know your agent's name,
Yeah.
middle name, and astrology sign.
I think you asked that before. I'm not sure if I know mine.
Yeah.
Haven't went down that rabbit hole yet.
Okay, well, we'll get you there. I will.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thanks for being our first non-Sherman guest. This was super awesome.
Perfect. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, this was fun.
Thank you so much for listening in on That's What She Said. If you are as passionate about leadership as I am, I would love to hear from you. Please go to my website at that'swhatsheshed.live to share feedback, ideas, and start the conversation of coming on the show.